So, we're at the Ivors. You're holding one in your hand.
Number 2.
Outstanding Song Collection with PRS for Music. Tell me about winning this award.
Well, I honestly was as surprised by this one as I was by the first one. Tom called me and I had to pull the car over because, you have that amazing... I had that amazing first success with the first album. And I knew that I was going to be a rebel and not just keep repeating myself and not keep making the same sounding stuff. And I think from a commercial and popularity point of view, that you do run the risk of sort of losing fans and maybe picking up new ones. But I just decided and made a pact with myself that I had to make whatever I wanted to make, and I didn't want to repeat myself, and I had to not please other people. I just had to please myself. And so there was no expectation of people responding. So after 20 years and 8 records, it's just amazing to be recognized for dedicating myself to doing my best with my work.
I hear it's quite heavy.
Very heavy. Definitely getting the burn.
You said, 20 years since, Suddenly I See, since your debut. And I heard you say yesterday it's a sort of, this may bookend this part of your career and then a new era coming.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What does that sort of look like?
I don't know. And I think that's the most exciting part of it is, I've been doing other things. I'm writing the music for the stage musical Clueless of the movie, another musical of a film called Saving Grace with Craig Ferguson. That's been fantastic, just sort of trying out different things. But I think what's really exciting now at this point in life is I just don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm going to do something. I just love making stuff. And I think that mystery in your work is a great thing to have. So the best thing to do is just wait and see and just leave some space for the universe to suggest what should come next.
Of course, the award was sponsored by PRS, who
It was.
I know you're a big fan.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about your relationship with PRS, what it means to you and the industry?
Yeah, well, PRS are just this quiet, constant foundation in the back of your knowledge as a writer, that they're always there. And I was saying to Julian, it's like, there's a couple of times that I've called on PRS for help because I was hitting a really difficult area of my career where things were not going well. And they're always there with advice and with support and with help. And my experience is they will do everything that they can to make sure that you can carry on writing and making work. And I really am so grateful for that. And as a writer, to have a dedicated organisation to making sure that you're getting remunerated as a writer it keeps you alive. It keeps you doing it as a job. Many of us wouldn't be able to do this as a job if we didn't have PRS fighting our corner for us.
And it's also
be stealing our stuff all over the place.
It's 110 years old this year as well. PRS.
Happy birthday!
There we go.
Your bag.
So obviously we're here at the Ivors, celebrating the art of songwriting primarily. Why is it important that events like this exist to sort of celebrate the art of songwriting?
Well, I think that the art of songwriting itself is a little underrepresented in general. A lot, I would say almost all other award ceremonies are often around popularity and around kind of commercial success. And the writers are often the unsung heroes of some of our favourite songs in the world. They're not necessarily the people who sing the songs that we love, And I think I said in my speech that with this advent of tech and AI and robots writing rock and roll, or at least trying, I just don't think it's going to come close to what it feels like listening to another human being sharing a very specific, vulnerable moment, talking about their life experience. I don't think that's copyable in a way that is believable. And there's something very medicinal and alchemical and magical about the sharing of songs between human beings. And I can't see anything stopping that. from happening. But having said that, writers must be supported. It's a hard job, and it should be respected.
It's a hard job, but what is your one golden rule when it comes to songwriting that maybe you dispense to sort of younger artists, or that you would say, if I asked you this question?
Am I being honest? Am I telling the truth? 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 Am I pretending? Am I being delusional? Am I putting up armour? And if I'm putting up armour, I need to tear it down and say exactly what I feel. And I love the John Lennon quote. He says, it's not our job to tell people how to feel. It's our job to tell them how we feel, and that's the job.
Amazing. And can you just give us a couple of your favourite songwriter of all time? That's quite hard to do.
That's very difficult.
But then also...
I'll give you my favourite song. I'll give you my favourite album of songs.
We'll go for that.
Of all time. And my go-to songwriting Bible is Tapestry by Carole King. And she always reminds me to just be simple and say exactly how you feel. You don't always have to use poetry and metaphor and be clever. And sometimes being clever gets in the way of being emotional and being true. So I think Tapestry is just, for any songwriter, is an absolute masterclass in how to write a great song.
We like the word masterclass. And then are there any up-and-coming songwriters that you'd love to champion that you can think of?
There's an American artist I love called Tomi, Tomi, and she's opened for me a couple of times. There's a fantastic fellow Scottish busker called Murdo Mitchell, who opened for me in King's Cross. We did a sweaty little club gig last night, and he's the real deal. He's extremely talented. He's a wonderful person, which I think is important in times like this, to be a good person whilst you're pursuing your dream. And he sounds magic. So look out for Murdo Mitchell. It's great.
And finally, how are you going to celebrate the statue in your hand?
A very, very, very cold, dirty vodka martini, which I've definitely not been having before making my speech.
Thank you, KT Tunstall. Thank you so much.